Hello, my most amazing artist. Today, I'm really excited because we're going to do one of my favorite things, and that's origami. Origami is a Japanese word that means paper folding, and that's exactly what we'll be doing today. If you happen to have copy or printer paper, that works perfect for origami because it's thin and it's easy to fold. I don't have any paper like that, so I'll be using construction paper. If you have white printer paper, just know that you can always color it and decorate what you're creating today. What are we making today? Well, hold on there, partner. Let's do our art class catchphrase first. I make messes. I make mistakes. But deep inside, I get what it takes. I am an artist. Big shout out to our sponsors. That would be Ticonderoga and Art to Remember. I said I'd be using construction paper today. I'm using my favorite construction paper made by my friends at Dixon Ticonderoga. It's the True Gray construction paper. It doesn't fade, it doesn't tear. It's literally thebomb.com. So thank you to them for providing me with those art supplies to use with art class with Cassie. And thanks to Art to Remember. Have you set up your free digital online art gallery yet? Emphasis on free? Then you really should, because the best part is you can then have your artwork printed on tons of different things, and it's a great way to remember your artwork, hence the name Art to Remember. So be sure and check out their website. All right, today we are creating cat and dog origami, as well as a cup, a real cup that you can actually use just one time, because after all, it is made out of paper, but still pretty cool. If you want to, when you're finished, you can attach what you create to a background, or you can just leave them standing on their own. That way you can play with them or create your own pet shop later. So we're going to be using paper, printer paper, so grab that first, a pair of scissors, and something to draw or color with, and let's get started. To create our origami cat, we're going to need 2 squares of paper, one for the head and one for the body. You can use 2 pieces of paper if you want to make a cat that is twice this size. I'm going to use 1 paper for both the head and the body. But I did say we need 2 pieces, right? That means we're going to have to get 2 squares out of this piece of paper. If you're using a piece of paper that's a rectangle like me, maybe it's printer paper, maybe it's construction paper, follow along with me. If you have origami paper, which is already cut into a square, just zip on through to the part of the video where I already have my squares cut out. All right, so with your printer paper or your construction paper in front of you, have your paper going horizontally like me, and let's fold this piece of paper in half. Precision, or getting things just right, is really important with origami. So that's why I'm going to go slowly when I match up my edges, hold it really still with one hand, and then smooth out that bump. Got it nice and smooth. Once I have my paper folded in half, I'm going to open it and cut along this crease. Now, even if you're doing the dog, you'll want to do these same steps. I'll be repeating these steps when I create the dog. So if you don't want to make a cat, feel free to just zip through this video until you get to the place where I'm working on my dog. Now that I've got my paper cut in half, you'll notice I have 2 rectangles, but I need 2 squares. Did you know that you can get a square out of a rectangle? Here's all you have to do. Go ahead and take your rectangle and turn it so it's going horizontally like me. Now, rest one hand on the paper. We're going to take this vertical line and bring it up, over, and down until it is right over that line. So we're going to have the vertical line come up, over, and down and meet this horizontal line. And when I do this, I do it slowly. My extra hand is helping me because it's a little tricky. The paper needs to be taught how to bend this way. So bend and move it slowly. And I'm keeping my eye down here because I want these lines not wonky. I want them matched up pretty well, as close as I can get them, since precision or getting things just right is so important with origami. Once I think I got it, hold it still with one hand, smooth out that bump. Whoop. Now that I have this finished, grab a pencil and I'm going to trace this line. If I went too fast for you, just feel free to pause me or rewind. Unfold, and now I have drawn a perfect square. It's perfect because all four sides are the same. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I have just created a template for me to trace to create my other square. Remember, I said I need two, one for the head and one for the body. So I've got this square. I need to take my square that I just cut out. I just called that a square. I meant a rectangle, y'all. Y'all knew what I meant. I'm going to take this one that I just made and match it up so that the top, the side, and the bottom all match up. So I've got them all matched up. Hold it still with one hand and then trace. Just trace. There we go. Now that that's finished, I can move this out of the way and cut along this line. And I didn't have to do any of that folding business. All I had to do was trace. Awesome. Now I have my two pieces of paper, my two squares, one for the head and one for the body. If you're using origami paper, then you're all set because that paper is already a square. Some origami paper comes very small, some of it comes a little bit bigger, some of it comes this size. Use whatever size you want to make your cat. Let's start with the head first. Move this folded piece out of your way and let's start with the unfolded one. Let's turn this square into a diamond. Do you know how to do that? It's really tough. Let me show you. Boom! Nailed it. Right. That was so easy, wasn't it? Okay, now we're going to take the bottom of the diamond and bring it up to the top, creating a triangle. Did you know that half of a diamond was a triangle? I know, it's amazing. I'm matching up these edges because precision is important. Have I said that before? I feel like I have. Hold it still, thumb. Got it. Smooth out that bump. Okay. Now we have what is going to become the chin of our cat. Let's work on the ears next. Find the bottom, middle, and just put your finger right there. With your extra hand, you're going to grab this part of the triangle and bring it up. Now, it doesn't really matter where you bring it to. This is for the ear. What you want to make sure to do is have it go in front or over this line a little bit. What we don't want to do is we don't want to do this because then we won't be able to see the ear when we turn it over. So this is how I think of it. You want to have a big mountain and then a little mountain. And when your little mountain is sticking up a little bit and you like it, go ahead and skirsh it down. So I think that one looks pretty good. I'm going to squish it down now. Oof, I'm using construction paper. It's thick stuff, so it's a little tricky to fold. So if you're using construction paper, it's a little tricky. It'll build up your hand muscles. All right, now that I have one ear here, I'll do the same thing on the other side. So my other hand now is going to find the middle. My left hand is bringing up the ear, and I don't want them to be uneven. So I'm trying to make sure that they look about the same. That looks pretty good. I think I like it is. And squish it down. There we go. Now we have our cat's ears. But the top of our cat's head is very pointed. If that's too pointed for you, which it is a little for me, we're going to take it and bend it down. There's two pieces of paper here. So you'll want to grab both of them and bring it straight down like that. And fold it down. Now, my boys and girls that I teach, when we do origami, they don't always like it that pieces are sticking out. So if that bothers you, this is where you can take your glue. You could put a little glue behind and lay it flat. I like that it sticks out because it makes my origami look almost like a sculpture because pieces are popping out. Now I flipped it over and now I have a cat head. I may have made my ears a little small. What can I do to problem solve? Well, if that's the case, flip it over. Let's see, can I bend them up a little taller? Let's see how that looks. Even art teachers make boo-boos. I'm gonna turn my boo-boo into something beautiful. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Ha-ha! Oh yeah, way more cat-like. I'm much happier with this. Now I'm gonna grab a marker. You could use a crayon, color pencil, a pencil, a marker, and let's draw the cat's face. Again, if I went too fast for you, all you gotta do is press the pause button, y'all. Hit that rewind button. Ooh, you could make a sleeping cat or a winking cat. I'm gonna open the eyes. This shape I just created is called an ellipse. It's the same kind of shape as a football. I'm gonna add a couple of circles. I guess I should have made more of a U shape. That would have made more sense for a cat. That's okay. My cat's going to have human eyes. There we go. I'm gonna add a couple of hot spots. Maybe some eyelashes. If you know other ways to draw your cat, I say go for it. You are the artist. Let's see, if you have a cat in your family, you could think about what your cat looks like. If you've always wanted a cat, you could draw a picture of that. Maybe a kitten would be cute to draw. You could get crayons to add a little bit of color. If it's a tabby cat, which is like what Garfield is, an orange cat, or a black and white cat. Those are called tuxedo cats. Isn't that fancy? I used to have a tuxedo cat. There we go. Now we have a cute little cat. What we can do next is create the body. Do you remember this little piece of paper that we made earlier? Watch. With just 2 folds, we're gonna make the body for the cat.
Don't believe me? Allow me to demonstrate.
I've got my square of paper. I did not rotate it like a diamond. I'm gonna bend this down. Now my long fold is like a slide. Whee! Crease. And I'm gonna hold this down with my hand. And just like I did the ear, I'm going to bring up a tail. Again, tall mountain, small mountain. There's the tail. Squish it down. What?
Body is done. Boom.
Now we just have to glue the two together. If you glue your cat's head up a little higher, it'll look like a grown cat. If you glue it a little lower, it looks smaller like a kitten. And you could tilt the head a little bit. Oh, that's cute. So I'm gonna move this out of the way now that I have a place for it to go and glue. Once you've glued it in place, then we can work on adding details of the body. So let me see, I put glue pretty far down because I'm making a kitten. Use my extra hand to give that glue some grab time. It's gonna need some time since it's construction paper. And now I'm gonna work on those legs. Pretty easy. We've got a back leg. We only see one because the other one is on the other side. And we have our 2 front legs. So for the back leg, I'm going to draw a nice big letter C. And then a baby C. Oh, so cute. Give it some toes. Boop, boop. Now for the front 2 legs, I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines. And then baby C for the foot, baby C for the other foot, toes, toes. Okay, and now, whoop, now my head was glued to my paper underneath, uh-oh. Now I'm gonna add a collar. You could even add a name tag. Give it a little name, decorate the collar if you want to, but you know what? I'm done with my cat. Now let's make the dog. Here's the good news about the dog. It's almost exactly the same steps, just 2 extra steps. So I'm gonna move these little kittens out of the way. Let's get this pound puppy up here. I'm gonna put a piece of paper right here. Since I'll be using white, I want you to be able to see what I'm creating, and I know it might be kind of tricky. So, just like the cat, we need 2 squares. The first step was fold it in half. You probably remember these steps because we literally just did them. Hold it still, hand. Get it. Smooth out that bump. Unfold the paper. Cut along the crease. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now we have 2 rectangles. Do you remember how we got squares out of these? Let's see. We took one paper. We brought this line down, up, over, and down to this one. So the vertical went up, over, and down to there. And I'm trying to go slowly to match up those lines. There we go. Hold it still, hand. Got it. Smooth it out, and there is the first square that we'll use for the body. Boom. Unfold and cut. And once we cut it out, remember, this is our template. This is what we can use to trace the other square. So I'm going to match up the top, the side, and the bottom. Got it. Go ahead and trace and cut. So this bent one, we'll use this for the body. You could probably figure out how we're going to do it, but I'll set it aside. We'll do it together in just a moment. Let's do the head of the puppy. So, if you remember the first step for the cat, then you'll know how to do the first step for the dog. Remember, the first step was,
Let's transform the square into a diamond. Abracadabra, spinach, pasta, applesauce, kaboom.
Yes, very exciting, I know. Now let's go ahead and transform this diamond into a triangle. Remember, we took the bottom and we brought it up to the tip, matching it up because precision with origami is important. Hold it still, hand. Okie dokie. Smooth it down, and now check this out. My edges aren't matched up perfectly because my square isn't exactly perfect. Something got lost along the way of me tracing and cutting out. Sometimes it happens. That's okay. Now that I have this, do you remember how we made the ears for the cat? Okay. Find the middle. Find the side. Big mountain. Little mountain. Do you see that little mountain right there? When you're happy with the size of it, smooth down the paper. Great. Now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Big mountain. I'll try to have this one be about the same. Let's see. Looks like it's about the same, and squish. Now, when we made the cat, we folded this back and flipped it over, and these became the ears. For the dog, we're just gonna rotate it, and these will become the ears now. But we need to open the mouth. Here's all you do. Pick up the bottom of the paper. You can pick up both of them if you want to, but you really only need to pick up one.
Come here, paper.
I'm gonna bend this paper straight up, and look how it creates a diamond when I bring it straight up. Do you see the diamond? Go ahead and fold the diamond flat. And now the dog's mouth is open. Now I'm going to take the top of the diamond and bring it down. And check it out. I have a cute little nose for my puppy. Yay! Now we can decorate. You could use markers and crayons, whatever you like. I'm going to do a Dalmatian again. I'm going to give him a couple of highlights in the eye because you know that's how I do. Ooh, I think I'll make it winking. Why not? Mostly because the ear was taking up a lot of space here and I didn't have room, so I was problem solving. And I problem solved and made it into a little winking puppy. And I'm going to give him a spot around the eye. Maybe I'll call him Spot. That would be a good name for a spotted dog. I could then color some spots on the ears if you want to. This is your dog. You can make it look like the dog if you have one in your house or a dog that you've always wanted or your favorite kind of dog. Up to you. Okay, I've got a couple of spots colored in. Now, let's see. I think I'll draw a line here. A letter U right there. Maybe give it some whiskers. And if you have markers or crayons, you might want to go ahead and color a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to open his mouth a little bit. I feel like a dog dentist. I had to open your mouth. Let's see those teeth, buddy. Ooh, doggy breath. Stanky. Okay, now I've got a cute little nose, and I think my puppy is finished. Let's go back to this paper for the body. Now remember, to create the body, we just refold the paper, that one that we initially folded, and here, whoa, it's running away from me. Here's something you might want to consider. You could have your cat and dog facing the same way, or you could have them facing each other. So if you want them to be facing each other, then this long folded line, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, needs to be on the left side. On the cat, the back was on the right. If you want the dog to face the cat, make sure your long line is on the left. I know it's my left because my hand is making an L. All right, now I'm going to hold it still with one hand. Tall mountain, small mountain. You got it. Squish it down. And again, if it's a puppy, then the head would be glued pretty low. If it's a grown dog, you might glue it up a little higher. I want mine to be a puppy. You could even have its head tilted. Look how, I think I like it tilted like this so it's looking at the cat. What? Now, when you draw the legs, it's actually the same as the cat except it's mirror imaged. So instead of making the letter C and a baby C, I'm making a backwards C and a backwards baby C. Toes, toes. Vertical, vertical. Backwards C, backwards C. Toes, 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 toes. Sweet! Ooh, a collar. And definitely some more spots. Great. Now, if you want to learn how to make one more thing, I'll show you, and that's the cup. When you make your cup, we're going to make a slightly bigger cup. But if you want to make a little cup, maybe for your cat or dog to have their snacks and their food out of, then do you remember how we made smaller squares from this paper by folding it in half, cutting it, rotating it, creating the square shape? This would be a good size for a small cup. I'm going to show you how to make a big cup. So now that my pup is finished, move it out of the way, and I think I'll make my cup with this paper right here. But once again, it has to be a square. So instead of making it half the size, let's use a full rectangle of paper to create a square. Take one side, bring it on over to here, We know this step now. We should be getting pretty good at this. We've done it now 3 times. Match it up with your hand and fold it. Trace it. Boop. And let's cut. There we go. I've got my vertical line here. I'm just going to cut a piece of a cake. Now, to make your cup, refold your paper. This long fold, rotate it just like that. Now, do you see how I have a triangle shape? Find the middle of this line segment. Looks like it's right here. You're going to bring this to that spot where your finger is. Your paper might not want to bend, so what I like to do is just kind of exercise the paper, have it do some crunches. If it buckles and doesn't want to bend, just take your finger and just help it bend a little bit. Get it matched up right there. Looks like it's in the middle-ish. Hold it still, hand. Got it. And smooth it down. It looks like your little triangle is
Saying, I pledge allegiance to the triangle flag of the Triangle United Triangle States of the Triangle.
Now I'm going to take this corner and go to there. Oh, my paper, it's buckling. It don't want to cooperate. Well, you got to exercise it, y'all. Show that paper who's boss. All right, I'm going to bring this over to there. Let's get it matched up. Boop. Hold it still, hand. Oh, my paper's buckling right here. I'm going to put my finger inside there and just help it squish it out. There we go. 2 more folds and we're finished, friends. 2 more folds. All right. Do you see the top? If you pick up one of these triangles, you'll see, hello there. There's another one sitting right underneath. So pick up this one, bend it down and fold. And I'm pressing really hard because I want these papers to stay in place. Flip it over like a pancake. Take the top, bring this down and fold. Ta-da! Now to open the cup. Here's a little pocket here at the top. Squeeze your hand like this to open it, and hey, would you look at that? I now have a pocket. I can keep notes or special things. Or you could try putting a little bit of water in here and see how it holds up as a cup. Now this is paper, so it probably will only work just once or twice, but still pretty cool. And if you decide that you want to put all the parts of your origami together, just grab another piece of construction paper and you can glue it all in place. Might want to give them a smaller cup. This one's a little big, but at least it's big enough for them to share. All right, guys, I hope you had so much fun learning how to make an origami cup, an origami pup, and an origami cat. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this. Have fun, guys.